Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's your guy Coldfire, and someone requested this one, knowing I'm a big Madonna fan.
She is honored at the Glaad Awards in New York.
The 60-year-old pop icon accepted the Advocate for Change Award in Midtown last night. The event celebrated her 3 decades of advocacy work in the LGBTQ community. Glaad cited Madonna's performances at AIDS benefit concerts and how she demanded action on the epidemic when it was often ignored.
She has won 7 Grammys and all kinds of other trophies, yet for Madonna, this honor holds a special place in her heart. Glaad's Advocate for Change Award.
Change means there's going to be a battle. It's going to be a fight. It's going to make people uncomfortable. And you have to be ready for it. All the challenges. Change equals challenge, yes.
Growing up, Madonna says she often felt like an outsider.
When I moved to New York, it was the gay community that embraced everything that I did and embraced the concept and idea of a strong, independent female. I felt compelled to come to the rescue of the LGBTQ community back in the very beginning because they were always there for me.
During an emotional speech, Madonna recalled how her life changed in the 80s during the AIDS epidemic.
The plague that moved in like a black cloud over New York City, and in the blink of an eye, took out all of my friends.
At the time, she did something few others did. She spoke out, raising money and awareness to battle the disease.
We can stop it from spreading any further by educating ourselves and finding out the facts.
More recently, the pop icon brought in the new year with a surprise appearance at the Stonewall Inn.
I stand here proudly at the place where Pride began.
Riots there 50 years ago were a catalyst for the gay rights movement. Many see her newly released song, I Rise, as a tribute to Stonewall.
It's important for me that people recognize how far we've come and how lucky we are that we can even have this conversation and speak openly and express ourselves.
Even still today, there's a large number of LGBTQ youth who attempt suicide.
Yeah.
And murder rate, especially for trans women.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of work to do, isn't there?
Oh my God, yeah. It's not, the fight is not over. That's why we're here. That's why we're talking. That's why I'm here. That's why this award means something to me. It's not trivial. It's not superficial. It's not a one-off.
Glaad also gave a major award to Bravo's Andy Cohen for promoting equality. The honor was presented by his close friend, Sarah Jessica Parker.
He's not afraid of difference of opinion, of how others feel about the positions he takes.
I'm assuming you hear from people all the time who say, seeing you made it easier for me to come out.
It's cool because I hear from moms who say, I've watched your show with my son or daughter for many years and now they just came out and it made me, feel okay about it.
Cohen is happy to get his award on the same night as Madonna.
Her music has been the soundtrack of my life. And she also, by the way, has been speaking out for our community when our community couldn't speak out for ourselves.
How alone she was often.
Yeah.
But seemingly just unafraid of
everything.
Yeah.
Singing for you.
On that stage Saturday, Madonna was anything but alone.
In that room tonight, I feel like you sort of had everyone sort of wrapped around your finger. If there's one message you hope they take away from what you said, what do you hope it is?
To never give up hope. Yeah. To never give up. No matter what.
Lord have mercy.
Speaking of Madonna, she is honored at the Glaad.
Okay, so we're gonna take it away with the...
Thank you. What I love most about all 3 of you is that you are all fearless in your own field of work. You are not afraid to take risks. And you all have huge hearts, so it's an honor to have all 3 of you up here introducing me. Thank you so much. And I'm a little bit pissed off at Ro because she never wants to hook up with me. I don't mean like that. I mean, like, like just get together with me for a dinner or something. She's always too busy, so we have to have award ceremonies to meet. Yeah, it's true. So, also congratulations to Andy Cohen for being Andy, basically. Andy, you're legendary. I can't say why. Yes, for being recognized for the Vito Russo Award. And finally, thank you to Sarah Kate Ellis and Glaad for this honor. Oh, there's so much to say. Let's see. Well, let's start off with the facts. 2019 is a monumental year for our community. We're commemorating the 50th anniversary of the Stonewall riots, which sparked a revolution and outcry of activism, mobilizing people from all over the country to come together and stand up for love and against brutality, violence, and hatred. Okay, here comes the me part. I sat in front of my computer last night with a Red Bull after midnight writing this speech. I do my best work at night. You understand, Andy. Yes. Why have I always fought for change? That's a hard question to answer. It's like trying to explain the importance of breathing or the need to love. Growing up, I always felt like an outsider, like I didn't fit in. It wasn't because I didn't shave under my armpits. I just didn't fit in, okay? The first gay man I ever met was named Christopher Flynn. He was my ballet teacher in high school, and he was the first person that believed in me, that made me feel special as a dancer, as an artist, and as a human being. I know this sounds trivial and superficial, but he was the first man to tell me I was beautiful. He took me to my first gay club in downtown Detroit. I told my dad I was having a sleepover at a girlfriend's house. Yep, that got me grounded for the rest of the summer. But that evening changed my life. For the first time, I saw men kissing men, girls dressed like boys, boys wearing hot pants, insane, incredible dancing, and a kind of freedom and joy.
God, I went out in the 90s and experienced the same thing, and she went out in the late 70s and experienced the same thing. It's a 20-year difference, and, well, 15-year difference, and nothing changed really.
Incredible dancing and a kind of freedom and joy and happiness that I had never seen before. I finally felt like I was not alone, that it was okay to be different and to not be like everybody else. And that after all, I was not a freak. I felt at home, and it gave me hope. Christopher was the one who pushed me to get the hell out of Rochester, Michigan. No offense, Rochester. Sorry. And go to New York and follow my dreams. And that's exactly what I did. But boy, oh boy, I had no idea what was waiting for me. The creativity, the energy, the diversity, the electricity, the danger, the risks people were taking, the lack of inhibitions, the art, the self-expression, the nightlife, the music, the gay community. the AIDS epidemic. The plague that moved in like a black cloud over New York City, and in the blink of an eye, took out all of my friends. Suddenly, everyone was talking about gay cancer, the disease that gay people deserved. It was on every headline, it was on every news show. I saw people starting to behave differently towards people who were HIV positive or who had AIDS.
It's
Not wanting
crazy.
to shake their hands or eat chips out of the same bowl or touch the same doorknob. It made me sad. It made me feel sick. It made me want to kick everybody's ass.
Yep. And you did.
It made me want to shout from the top of the Empire State Building, what the is going on? Why are we losing all the beautiful people, all the special ones? Somebody do something fast. And I remember the pandemonium and the fear and people trying all kinds of drugs that didn't work and doing my own drug runs to Mexico for my friends to buy experimental medicines that were supposed to help cure but ended up killing them even faster. And a lot of activist groups were forming, but everybody was fighting amongst each other and research was not going fast enough. And after I lost my best friend and roommate, Martin Burgoyne, and then Keith Haring, happy birthday Keith, I decided to take up the bullhorn and really fight back. I started to do, well, what some people perceive to be outrageous things. I went to St. Vincent's Hospital. I heard there was a whole ward of men and women dying of AIDS. When I arrived, I felt like I had entered a concentration camp. Emaciated bodies in every bed, and all these people who had been abandoned by their families and their friends and their loved ones. I decided to defy the universe and get into every bed and put my arms around as many humans as I could and make them feel loved and human. I came home smelling like shit and vomit and death and defiance. I came home smelling like gratitude. A few weeks later, I was leaving my apartment building in CPW on 64th Street. Don't worry, everybody knows where I live anyways. And I walked out into my courtyard, and my courtyard was filled with news crews and paparazzi. Flashes were going on, and microphones were being stuck in my face. The reporters were asking me how it felt to be diagnosed with HIV and how it felt to have AIDS.
What?
And suddenly, everything clicked into place. I realized then and there that if you are going to stick your neck out and fight for the rights of people who are feared or misunderstood or different, you better be ready for the lies, the bullying, the bullshit, the gossip, the hatred, and the abuse. These were dark days for all of us, but I never gave up because it was the gay community that embraced me and gave me life and the courage to be me. So,
isn't that something?
I had to get in the front line, no matter the cost. Sometime after that, my beloved ballet teacher, Christopher Flynn, died of AIDS. And somewhere in all of that craziness, I became a creamy, smooth pop icon goddess. I I decided to use my fame to make even more noise, to fight for more research and more money and more awareness and more compassion and provoke and make trouble, because that's what I do best. When I made the film Truth or Dare, I had no idea I was going to... Seriously, I had no idea I was going to inspire so many gay men to A, give blowjobs to Evian bottles, or B, just have the courage to come out. Yes. And be free and take a stand and say, this is who I am. Like it or not, okay?
You want to watch Madonna
with me? When I look back and watch that film, I am horrified by my brattiness. But I'm also proud that it gave so many people hope. The freedom fighting expanded and continued, and so did getting my ass kicked. Fighting for all marginalized people was a duty and an honor I could not turn my back on, nor will I ever. Yes. To quote the great James Baldwin, which you beat me to so many punches, by the way, because I worship James Baldwin, but he has kept me going in the darkest of times, and I just want to, there's so many things he says that I want to quote, but we haven't got all night. Because only an artist can tell, and only an artist has told, since we have heard of man, what it is like for anyone who gets to this planet to survive it. What it is like to die, or to have somebody die. What it is like to fear death. What it is like to fear. What it is like to love. What it is like to be glad. Hymns don't do this. Churches really cannot do it. The trouble is, only the artist can do it. The price that he or she has to pay himself, and the price the audience has to pay, is willingness to give up everything. Because nothing, none of it, belongs to you. So 14 years ago, I heard about an AIDS epidemic in Malawi, a country in sub-Saharan Africa that I'd never heard of before, embarrassingly, a country that had left over 1 million children orphaned by AIDS. I decided to go there and see what I could do, and it was like history repeating itself.
Is this when she got into Raising Malawi? Because I think it was. Because I do remember that coming up on the news, where she went and built a hospital in Malawi. And that's where she adopted 4 of her kids now. David, Mercy, Stella, and Esther. Yeah, I think so.
Over 1 million children orphaned by AIDS. I decided to go there and see what I could do, and it was like history repeating itself. Hospital wards filled with emaciated, dying people laying in hallways and under beds. Abandoned children wandering the streets everywhere, orphanages overflowing. No medicine, no education about what was happening, and no one talking about prevention. Eventually, I made a documentary called I Am Because We Are, wanting to share this journey. Thank you. Wanting to share this journey and hoping to raise awareness and inspire others to help me, I started advocating for change in the warm heart of Africa, which is what Malawi is known as. Building schools and orphanages, and eventually a pediatric hospital. It is here that I met and adopted 4 of my 6 most beautiful children. Remember what that guy used to say, Ro? Tom Hanks. There's no crying in baseball. Right?
The League of Their Own.
That's stopping me from crying right now. I'm just listening to Tom Hanks in the back of my head. Okay. To quote a song on my new record called Extreme Occident, life is a circle. Death and loss brought me new life, brought me to life, brought me to love. And so we are back to the beginning of my speech, the importance of love. Because as soon as you really understand what it means to love, you understand what it takes to become a human being. And that it is every human's duty to fight, to advocate, to do whatever we can and whatever it takes. Madam X is a freedom fighter. Thank you very much.
Well, guys, that was Madonna accepting the Advocate for Change Award full speech from the Glaad Media Awards. Never saw that before. I did react earlier to Madonna giving Anderson Cooper the Vito Russo Award. Because I'm in here making a ton of catching up on a bunch of requests. And after we did the Drown World Tour, me and Kit, a lot of people have been asking for a lot more Madonna. So, which I don't mind because she's my favorite. And other than Patsy Cline, I know, complete difference in a way, but not really. Because, and this is something that a lot of people might not know. If you, they don't have it if you look it up. I learned about it, there was an article that came out because of the DEI, and they had the Patsy Cline Museum in Nashville. It was taken down. It was right above the Johnny Cash Museum. But some pictures surfaced. When an artist passes away, especially when Patsy Cline was killed in a plane crash in 1963, you're going to have things that are going to be, throughout history, people coming forth with, stuff that they found that they put away after they pass away, or if they move, they forget memorabilia that they had during those times. Well, supposedly, there is a picture where Patsy Cline, I think it was like right a few months before she was killed, because she played at gay bars, which back then she would have been hung for it. But there's a picture where she's actually at Stonewall Inn performing, and she is she's in a picture with 3 other men and the owner of Stonewall Inn. I can't think of his name. Once they found that out, that's why they took the museum down. But so you could say Patsy did it in 1963. I mean, she didn't advertise it But she was still on the right side of history way back then. Same as Elvis. Elvis was like that too. That's why Elvis Presley and Patsy Cline admired each other so much, was because they both didn't like the racism and the homophobia that was going on in our country, amongst other things, women's rights and stuff. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed that video reaction, and I will see you on the next one. From here in the U.S. to wherever you are in the world, I send you all my love, hugs, and kisses. And remember, be a pioneer. Be an advocate. Stand up for people. Stand up for yourself. Don't let anybody bully you, because there's only one you. And if you ever need someone to talk to because you feel like nobody's listening, put it in my comment section. And if I see it, I will definitely reach back out and talk to you, because I know what it's like, okay? Love, hugs, and kisses. Peace out. Bye-bye.